As the trade deadline looms, are the Chicago Bulls done making moves? And in the wake of the Zach LaVine trade, the young Bulls ball out. We'll talk about all that and more in today's edition of the Chicago Bulls Breeze. Let's go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Chicago Bulls Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. And if you have not done so, man, the subscribe button is ever so important. 81% of you guys watching the channel have not hit that subscribe button, man. We're trying to grow this channel just like we've grown the Windy City Breeze. So tap in with us. Make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button and rocking with us here on the show, because we're bringing you the Chicago Bulls news, how Chicago Bulls fans talk, man. So stop playing with us around here. Let's get it started. Speaking of the Chicago Bulls news, because last night, and we'll talk about Buzelis here in a minute, but last night the Chicago Bulls are balling versus the Miami Heat in the second half, and you feel good about the team, and you see the young Bulls going off, and then Casey Johnson comes through and hits you with the, hey, how about a little bow to the forehead here, as he drops the report that it seems like the Chicago Bulls may be done making moves for a multitude of reasons. Now, number one, you see this tweet. This was during the game. As for the latest trade chatter, everything is fluid, but the optimism for the moves that surfaced Monday dried up some Tuesday. Nikola Vucevic is now prepared to be here past the deadline, as Warriors have shifted attention to bigger targets, including Kevin Durant. Now, listen, if the Durant thing goes down, that is insane. And at the end of the day, it does take two to tango. So trying to move on from Vooch and Kevin Durant pops up and all of a sudden you can't move on from Vooch, that's a tough situation. But now you're going to be in this spot where you wanted to make the decision to move on. And here's the thing. I understand you're trying to get the best assets, but it's why when I made the video about the Bulls not moving on from Nikola Vucevic in a Clint Capella deal that basically just gets his money off the books, it's why I said you're not going to get every deal that you want. You're not going to win any of these deals. I have continually said that. You're not going to be in a position for you to go out there and dictate policy. Sometimes you have to take what the best case scenario is, and it seems like that best case scenario may be Nikola Vucevic now staying here for the foreseeable future, which doesn't have you continuing to go in the wrong direction, doesn't have you evaluating young talent at the center position, doesn't have you trying to now make this complete pivot into, not to say you're tanking, but to say, listen, the team's not good enough to win. We're going to add pieces in the offseason. We're going to have Vooch's money off of the books to bring somebody in to play that center position that's not named Clint Capella. And we're going to effectively try and add to this team through the draft and try and get some really good pieces in here, some star caliber pieces in here through the draft, which means we probably need to be as bad as we can be while still being competitive. Because again, I've said this multiple times. AK is never going to tank. He's from the Denver system. Denver didn't tank. Denver got Nikola Jokic and a second round pick during a Taco Bell commercial because of scouting or luck or whatever you want to call it there, but that's how they got good. They haven't had a sub 500 season since 2003. So to me, like, I don't ever expect the Bulls to just say we give up, we don't want to compete, we're going to bottom out. But if you make the talent pool weak enough, I think that is something that you could have done. Now it seems like that's not going to be a situation for you because of the Nikola Vucevic deal not going through, because it does seem like, and this is wild to say, the Kevin Durant to the Warriors thing might be a real situation. The West is about to be all jumbled up. Are the Warriors going to be back in championship contention? Are we going to get Stephen Curry, Draymond, Kevin Durant? Is Kevin Durant finally going to be happy? What is happening in the NBA? Luka's on the Lakers, catch chasing dogs. It's wild out here. And the only one sitting here in normalcy is the Chicago Bulls. I'm sick of it. But here's the big thing for me, right? And I think that this is the part where you kind of have to look at the, forgot the lower third up there, you kind of have to look at this Bulls team in a tough light here. Yet again, it seems like you're going to miss out on the possibility of choosing a direction, going 100% in a direction, because You waited too long. The offers for Vooch are dried up because the market did something you didn't expect it to do. That is on this front office. I get it. It takes two to tango. I'm not going to sit here and say you're not trying to move Vooch. I do believe they're trying to move Vooch. I do believe they have an interest in getting him off of the books, getting him off of the team, moving on from Nikola Vucevic and trying to bring other pieces in. I get that. I agree with that. But let's not confuse activity with accomplishment. It seems like Nikola Vucevic is going to be here past the trade deadline. And if he is, that is 100% on this Bulls front office for missing the opportunities that were there, hoping for a greater opportunity. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Do you think the Chicago Bulls should have moved on from Nikola Vucevic by now? And listen, it seems like this is not the end of all of this. It seems like this is not the end of the Chicago Bulls possibly standing pat here at past this trade deadline, because we saw this from Casey Johnson underneath the previous tweet. Said Lonzo Ball is drawing interest, but in order to get draft capital out of the pending UFA, Bulls would probably have to take the long-term money. Remember, Ball makes $21.4 million, so that is a high number to match. Bulls happy to take a look at the three new guys if they're not packaged in a larger deal. Once again, you're talking about holding on to another piece because the trade has gotten difficult. You don't want to take back. Now, I understand not wanting to take back the long-term contracts, but Evan Sideary also put this out as well, that it not only seems like the Bulls are willing to hold on to Lonzo Ball, they're unwilling to, they seem, what's the right word? They seem not likely to look to buy him out post trade deadline. They also seem like they're possibly in on the idea of re-signing him. There are some people in the front office that are in on the idea of re-signing Lonzo Ball here in Chicago. And again, I just think I love Lonzo. I love what we've seen out of him. I love the fact that he was able to come back. I love the fact that he was able to compete. I love the fact that he is still Lonzo Ball when he's on the floor. I mean, the IQ, the ball handling, the facilitating, the shooting, the defense. The defense is the one that I love the most, because it feels like, okay, like he's still got it, right? You can't just sit there and go, oh, Lonzo, you should have moved on from because he's banged up. But haven't we done this before? Again, I think that he's a good piece, if healthy, for a young team moving forward, because he is a young piece. But are you going to sit there and tell me that you have a trust that this is not just a healthy stretch for Lonzo? Maybe the knees are great. Maybe he does feel 110% better. Maybe everything is perfect here. But it really makes it difficult for me to wrap my mind around what we've seen over the past 4 years and then go, yes, let's re-sign him to a contract moving forward. Now, again, if he's like, if you sign Lonzo to a 2-year team option, $6 million year, team option in the second year, $6 million per year, right? $12 million contract. He's taking up like 4-6% of the cap, whatever it is. Okay. I can live with that. I'm not losing my mind over that contract. But is Lonzo Ball going to take that? Is this a build back the value kind of deal? Is this a Andre Drummond situation where you're trying to, get some of that value back up and then you end up getting moved to another team? Like what is the game plan here around Lonzo Ball for him moving forward? Again, I think he's very talented, but if he does get hurt again, which history would tell you is probably going to happen. If we do see that happen, now yet again, you're sitting here with Lonzo Ball's contract on the books going, well, we couldn't have anticipated this. Yes, you could have. We've seen this story play out. We've been to this movie. It ends the exact same. Now, again, the hope is that this is a different situation. The hope is that this is not going to end in Lonzo being injured, that all of a sudden his career is going to be fine. But for me, re-signing Lonzo is too much of a risk if you're the Chicago Bulls. I guess if you've got some injury incentive-laden contract that he signs, like it could work out. And the Bulls have signed some solid contracts here. You look at the Kobe contract, you look at the Io contract, like those are good deals. The Bulls have done good business with guys like Jalen Smith where they've worked some things out. But I just personally, I feel like it's too much of a stretch to say, let's pay Lonzo Ball to be here and be a big part of it. Because here's the thing, Lonzo's the better point guard. Whatever you do, Lonzo is going to have to be a big part of your scheme. His defense is so good. His IQ is so good. His facilitating is so good that you have to have him as a major part of anything that he is involved in. But can you do that again, knowing the injury history? That's the big question here. And listen, I guess if you're not in on the second round picks, that's pretty much what we've seen being offered for Lonzo Ball. If you're not in on getting second round picks and you want to run this back, I'm not going to sit here and flip a table, but it is to me a little bit concerning that we might be trying to run this back just without Zach LaVine. Like, again, it seems like you're just trying to switch the pieces up and see what ends up working in the long run. Let's finish it out here. By the way, if you have not done so, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love as always. Let's finish it out here, though, because we got to see something out of one of the young Bulls yesterday that I do want to bring up on the podcast. Now, we're not doing post-game shows over here, mostly because I have to sleep at some point, kind of. But I do want to bring this out and talk about, you know, some of the games the next day and things like that. We'll do that here on the show, of course. But Buzelis yesterday, absolutely freaking balling out of his mind. This is what I want to see when I talk about young Bulls getting an opportunity to do what they, to getting an opportunity to do more and taking advantage of it. Buzelis yesterday, 24 points, 10 for 10 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3 rebounds, 2 blocks. He absolutely played out of his mind yesterday. Didn't even finish the game in the last 5 minutes. I think they wanted to make sure that he held on to that 10 for 10 there. But dog, like what we saw yesterday out of Buzelis is what we've been begging for out of one of these young players for years, dog. For years, legitimately. Buzelis saw an opportunity, took advantage of the opportunity, and here's what I love about this. It's what he's been doing all season. Any little bit that Billy Donovan has given him, Buzelis has just said, listen, I get 10 minutes, bet. I'm going to go 2 for 2 from the field. I'm going to grab 3 rebounds. I'm going to block a shot. How many minutes I get tonight? 17? Okay. I'm going to go 4 for 6. I'm going to give you 6 rebounds now, and I'm going to have 2 steals. Every opportunity he has gotten, he has made an impact, and making an impact to me is what you see when you is what you want to see a player take advantage of more so, especially a young player like Buzelis. And listen, for me, the conversation on P. Will has sailed. Unfortunately, it seems like I think he's very comfortable in the role that he's in now. Yesterday's game out of P. Will, probably the best game I've seen from him all season. And he didn't shoot the ball well, but defensively, I thought it was one of his best games. I thought that he played the passing lanes really well. I thought that he forced guys to do things that they were uncomfortable with defensively on the other side. And when he needed to, he knocked down a couple of shots. He was aggressive going to the rim. He was trying to make things work for you. He feels like a really good bench player that could be in the making. Maybe he's I heard, I think it was Stacey said, maybe he's a Jordan Clarkson. Maybe he's a Jamal Crawford. I don't think he is those guys. I don't think he's a 6th man of the year guy. But I take from that where P. Will is comfortable there. Modest is comfortable wherever you put him. Modest is comfortable in whatever role you give him. And the more you give him, the more he wants, the more he takes. The more, okay, we're going to give you 17 minutes. Okay, give me 20. We're going to give you 20 minutes. Give me 25. We give you 25 minutes tonight. Give me 30. in his first 30 points. And look, I don't expect him to go 10 for 10 from the field every night. I don't expect him to have he's gone 1 for 8. He's had the rough shooting nights, but it's all about the impact. And the one thing that I do like about this young man is he knows his game right now, and he has the right mindset to improve his game. Right now, he is not a good one-on-one defender. He just isn't. He can get picked on, but he knows, okay, if he gets past me, now my next thing is I need to find a way to block the shot. I need to meet him at the rim because I don't have the footwork yet to stay in front of him. I don't have the defensive ability yet to stay in front of him. But I mentioned this last night on Locked On Bulls, and I feel this way here. I remember Derrick Rose, and now very different players. Everybody calm down, take a breath here. Derrick Rose is amazing. Modest is right here, like not even on the screen yet. But after Derrick's first year, I believe it was Kobe Bryant told him, you need to get a jump shot. The only thing out of your game right now is you don't have a jump shot. Derrick worked all offseason, had the right mindset, said, I'm going to get a jump shot. Guess what? He came back next season. His field goal percentage improved. He's knocking down 3 balls. He's knocking down mid-range shots. He's got a jump shot that people have to worry about. I believe that next season is when you see the Windy City Assassin step back and kiss myself shot. Like you see that ascension in Derrick Rose from the jump shot, from no jump shot to now he's one of the most dangerous players on the face of the earth because he's added that jump shot to his game. That to me could be Modest Buzelis with the defense. And the reason I say that is, right, what was the knock on Modest coming in? They say I can't shoot. Had a horrible shooting season in the G League. It's why he ended up falling in the draft to the Chicago Bulls. And all off season, leading up to the season, he heard the knock. He worked on his shot with Peter Patton. Now he's shooting phenomenally from the field, or from the 3-point line. From where he was to where his game has grown now, you have to give him credit for shooting 37%, almost 38%. From the 3, and he's taking them. It's not like he's taking 1 a game. He is pulling the 3 ball. Last few games here, 2 for 4 versus the Celtics, 2 for 4 versus the Raptors, 5 for 9 versus the Pistons, 10 for 10 versus the Heat. From the 3-point line, 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 4 for 4. He's taking the shots. He's not shying away from what the stigma was. For me, that mindset, apply that to the defense this offseason, you're going to have a heck of a player. I don't know if he's a star. I don't know if you have a superstar in the making. I think you have a really, really good player. Maybe he gets to that star level. I think you have a really, really good player. I don't think you have the face of your franchise here in Modest Buzelis. I am willing to be proven wrong on that. But to me, the excitement is you have somebody who can be a leader on this team as they can continue to grow, who's from the town, who can continue to add to his game and has that mindset that you saw it last night. It affected everybody. When Modest came in and was like, oh, I got opportunity, bet, let me take it. I'm at the rim. Meet me at the rim. I'm up top. Boom. I bet. I got a drive pass, buddy. Let me get this up and over. Lay. Stop playing with me. Pull up J. Corner 3. Bang. Right? You look at all those moments and then you see how the rest of the team reacts to it. That's what I love about what we saw out of the young bull last night. That's what I love about the mindset in the game that he showed, and why I think that it could be something consistent that we see moving forward from Modest Buzelis. But I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below about everything we talked about today. What are your thoughts on the Chicago Bulls possibly standing pat? What are your thoughts on Modest Buzelis' game last night and what the future of him, what he could be for this Bulls team ends up being? Let me know your thoughts, man. I'll be down in the comments talking with you guys as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation. Stand up. Peace.